And we are joined one more time here by Tom Chadzuko, who is the Superintendent of Schools for the Brooklyn Diocese, and Sister Angela Gannon, who is the Secretary of Education and Formation for the Diocese as well. Thank you so much for being here once again today.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We're talking today about the future of Catholic education as we kind of wrap up this week. We want to take a look forward into the future. Not so much that we have to have a crystal ball, I don't guess, and say, well, here's exactly what's going to happen. But how do things look as far as the future of Catholic education, specifically in the Brooklyn Diocese?
I think as we've been talking during the week, and we mentioned the formation of academies, there will be fewer schools, but hopefully these schools will be stronger, the enrollment will increase, and there will be greater accountability, so to speak, to the boards of directors and to the member boards. I think financially there is a desire to increase the streams of revenue that come into any given school. If we look at Catholic schools in the past, at one time the parish supported the school. There was no tuition at all. And then it expanded and it brought the parents in, asking them to contribute by way of tuition. And then we went beyond that to the diocese, to grants, to organizations such as Futures in Education. Now I think we're looking beyond that to major grants from foundations, from corporations. We have to develop new streams of revenue for the Catholic schools in order for them to truly succeed.
One of those organizations that, of course, is big in the diocese, the Alive and Hope Foundation.
Exactly.
And I know that they just actually had a change in leadership, and Tom Flood has gone now on to St. Francis. So we wish him well there. Just wanted to mention that because I know Tom has been a good friend to us here on Currents during his time at the Alive and Hope Foundation also.
And a good friend to us also.
A very good friend to you guys. I remember I was at the Bishop's Luncheon during several weeks ago now during Christmas time. And got to meet the wonderful mother and child there who had benefited so much from now Catholic education because of a scholarship from the Alive and Hope Foundation.
Exactly.
So it's a very important thing that they do. Now, as far as looking at these different revenue streams, obviously this is a very difficult time economically. How do we do that? I mean, how do we go about finding other sources of revenue for schools in the diocese? I mean, it's especially now, it's going to be very, very difficult.
One of the things that we will be highlighting again with Ed Wilkinson is the Catholic Alumni Partnership. This is a program that 45 of our schools are involved in, and through the Catholic Alumni Partnership, we have now begun to do outreach to the alums who have graduated, and it's been interesting to see the results of people saying, how did you find us? You know, we went to that school, as Sister said in one of our segments this week, and said, that school did so much for me. And as we begin to cultivate that partnership or bring back our alumni back into our schools, there's another stream that we begin or hopefully will continue to expand upon because they want to give back to a quality Catholic education that they enjoyed while they were here in the Diocese of Brooklyn.
Right, yeah, and that's something that we were talking about earlier in the week too, about how many people are really, really proud and glad that they have that education.
And the high schools have done very well with attracting their alumni, cultivating the alumni, involving them in the life and mission of the school. I think we have to look at some of that and bring it back into the elementary schools as well.
Right. Now, I know that, that Tom, you were talking earlier in the week about enrollment and how we had seen a great increase in enrollment. How are things looking as far as the future goes? Is there any way to kind of peer into the crystal ball?
I think the efforts of our principals, our teachers, everyone, I think the key word there is everyone is promoting the good news about Catholic education. I think that because this economy is still unstable, I think we need to continue to do some work. But as we talked about this week, the generosity of the Alive and Hope Foundation to keep the children in our seats, the scholarships that are made available, and all of the efforts of the Futures in Education Endowment, those are the critical pieces. And I think as we continue to study the demographics on the Preserving the Vision, we just completed the Latino study in our elementary schools. 18 schools were involved in that project. And we hope to take those results to see how we can look at the Latino population. We also hope to expand study of the Creole population. So there's a lot of things that we can do through preserving the vision that will allow us to look at what is here within the Diocese of Brooklyn and continue to develop it for the future.
Well, it sounds great. Thank you both so much for joining me this week. I have appreciated your time and look forward to having you here in the future to talk about
Yes.
education once again.
Be happy to do it. Thank you.
Thank you
Sister
for
Angela
having
Thomas,
us.
thank you so
Really
much.
great.